I'm standing outside this place of work to talk about work itself. How is work different from career? A career can be an ambiguous thing to define and understand. A career is not just work. It's not just a job. It's not an office building you just left. It's your life. It's a full-on adventure in self-fulfillment. It's a campaign of hope toward success until something happens and you hit the proverbial wall. Fired, redundant, quit, replaced, expendable, obsolete. There are 3 bold moves you normally make to break such an impasse. Come with me, let us explore options to get our career back on track. You can carry on as before, find a new job, do the same work, just in a different building. Or you can go on to one of these places and reinvent yourself, transition your new career in a completely different direction. The third option is strike it out on your own in a new business. A new business, like our friend Sam here. Sam was in financial services. He was replaced by technology. But he aligned with a highly skilled cafe manager who had been unemployed for several years. So, Sam and his partner opened this cafe. Hello, Sam. Some people talk about a fourth option to break your career impasse. They call it giving up. We don't like that option very much. What we prefer is to help you step up your contact activity as the source of all future opportunities, meaning a fourth option, what we call normalizing networking. Permit me to explain. Look at these people. Nobody's really talking to each other. At this moment, they are all probably on some sort of social media platform. They may be connecting, but not meeting. Rather ironic, isn't it? Engaging in one-way conversations about themselves, collecting meaningless likes. It is an imaginary win column adding up to nothing. So what if this looked more like this? People having a real conversation about new work opportunities, about new pathways in your career, or just talking about new business ideas. People developing valuable relationships where there is trust, where people have faith in you again. Exchanging real contacts that can help you move forward. Coming together as peers, sharing skills, experience, and wisdom. The kind of conversation that ends with 2 people asking an important question. How can we help each other succeed? The SageBright peer community will walk you through the steps to bring networking into your ongoing career development practices. So when you reach an impasse in your career, you will have people, or sages, there to get you back on track. As a real-time networking platform, you keep up your networking skills. Connect with and meet real people face to face. Then apply what you have learned. You are not alone. Wisdom is here.
As you complete all of the basic information, let's speak briefly about Employment Agency. SageBright is a free service to unemployed or underemployed job seekers. To ensure community integrity and security, people will sign up from an established provincially funded employment center. Career objective is the 3 paths or interventions provided to job seekers. Naturally, employment agencies will focus on job seeking first. However, sages may choose one or all 3 and prioritize their preferences. Sages can choose whether they want their profile published to female sages, males sages, or both. You will see, SageBright is only interested in members' year of birth only. This information will not be published. This information is used to study trends and where we need to make improvements. SageBright has a survey to help people self-identify how they like to solve problems. This is a non-psychometric tool and the results are strictly a guide. We use this an empathy-building exercise between 2 people. A key to successful networking. The survey self-identifies how you prefer to solve problems in a group setting. As sages form career alliances, it may be useful to connect and meet with people that are different from you. It also provides insights on the type of work people prefer. However, sages have a choice as to whether they want to share their problem-solving preferences to other members. We will provide more in-depth videos on his subject matter to SageBright members so people can make an informed choice. Attaching photos to profiles seems to be commonplace these days thanks to social media. We encourage, of course, photos for professional use only. The registration is now complete.
Hi, people. I'm Max, and I'm an entrepreneur. And no, I'm not that beady-eyed feller from that Enron company. Today is Bring Your Car Into Work Day today in my office. So I thought it'd be a good idea to bring in this little beauty I rescued from a hedge fund manager. Well, my staff did not like my car taking up so much space in the office. Rescue car or not, the staff sent me packing. I do like frankness. Wait, I have a call coming in. Now you tell Dale I need $20 million in my account by the close of business. No excuses.
Max, I'm told $20 million has been wired to your offshore bank account. So, how does that make you feel?
Yippee, yippee-yi-yo! You know, Doc, my dad would have been really proud of me right now. You must understand. Nobody understands me. Everyone knows that I give. I give until it hurts sometimes.
I see. Can you expand on that?
It's like everyone thinks I'm crazy and disorganized, frankly. There are people on my left with bad news all the time. There are funeral directors with more positive words to say, and there are people on my right who tell me that I treat people like cattle. What in heck is wrong with cattle?
Can you say that again? Sorry, you are breaking up.
Doc, are you listening to me? Who are you talking to?
Will you stop calling me Doc? I am Josephine, your tax attorney, checking on our flight to the Cayman Islands. Not your shrink dude.
It is good that you don't have my problems, Doc. That's all I can say, frankly.
Hi. I am Josephine and I am a tax attorney. This man on the phone next to me is Max. He is an entrepreneur, CEO and my client. I call him Maximum Max and he likes to call me Doc. Probably because I use the word unhealthy to describe his interaction with people. From what I am witnessing, Max's taxes are the least of his problems. He is in a constant state of chaos and mostly with people which he only sees as roadblocks. See what I mean? He left the car without saying goodbye. Am I offended? No. Not anymore, and I will tell you why. I introduced Max to something called operational mode. Let me give you the lowdown on what operational mode is all about. I will tell you how it relates to entrepreneurs like Maximum Max, and people like me, his trusted advisor. First off, operational mode is the result of over 20 years of research and practice with real people. With real jobs, operational mode is a non-psychological tool that helps people self-identify preferences toward work. It's simple. Knowing your operational mode helps you understand your work preferences as it relates to the preferences of others. Empathy is the foundation for harmony. To understand operational mode, we need to take a brief fly through history. The origin of operational mode goes back to ancient Greece. That influenced modern researchers like the infamous Dr. Carl Jung. The Greek physicians Hippocrates and Galen uncovered the temperament of people. They studied how people respond with various stimuli in their environment. As you can see here, these two Greek physicians established the basis of 4 broad personality style types. Operational mode has relabeled these. The first is inform. This mode refers to the serious data-driven, analytical fact-check dude that you may be familiar with. Next is the transact operational mode. This refers to the type A, very driven colleague. Buddy is on the go. The excite operational mode is the consummate ideas guy. Dude is always watchful for the entertainment value in the environment. With the connect operational mode we have the people person. The connectors. There's always a sensitivity toward matters concerning people. With operational mode you are not one-dimensional. You may not self-identify as transact. On occasion it's a mode you may choose when needed. It just may be in short supply. So for example, I self-identify my primary operational mode as being high inform. My secondary operational mode is Connect. I have a third operational mode. It's Excite but medium to low when I choose to use it. As you can see, I have a very low preference to engage the Transact operational mode within me. You can even say I am near empty, redlining, on most occasions. And when it evaporates, it's usually when I am interacting with someone like Max who has a very high Transact operational mode. Do you now see where operational mode can help me identify my potential source of conflict with my colleague Max? As it turns out, knowing operational mode, Max and I have very different ways of operating. Let's drill down with some further comparisons. One way to see operational mode is to look at 3 comparisons that many researchers have cited as indicators as source. The person pushing that cart is named Matilda. Her friends call her Matty for short. Matty was recently hired as an airport baggage handler. Matty's previous job was in a warehouse. So, she had the requisite experience for her airport gig in spades. Matty had the organizational skills if needed, and her recent employer references were perfect. Well, too perfect. Matty's new employer checked the usual boxes in hiring a baggage handler. What they didn't know was why Matty really left this job here in the first place. Matty's boss had issues with how she carried out her work. None of this was mentioned in the reference follow-up call. We'll tell you why Matty's old boss below me appears upset. Matty and her boss would often have negative exchanges in open view of other employees. The supervisor just wanted her to move boxes, not chit-chat. This was not good for morale. It's okay. No one was hurt there. Matty and her supervisor are actually friends. They exchange soup recipes of all things. Whatever floats your dumplings, I guess. However, Matty's supervisor, upon reflection, realized an error in judgment. He looked back at her CV and saw that she had a 2-year diploma in hospitality management. So, he put Matty in a position that was more in line with her operational preferences. Interacting with people, looking after their needs and developing a rapport with customers. Although Matty's boss recognized her vocational aspirations, it was too late. With too much hostility between them, her transition to a different role didn't pan out. But Matilda's story doesn't end here. In fact, it's only beginning. Let's go back to the office and examine what really went wrong. Although it was great that Matty's boss finally made the connection between her education and her career aspirations, that was just another typical box checked off on the list. Hiring managers need to go further, so let's break this down even further with 3 basic and popular comparisons used by people who research this stuff in terms of job and culture fit. The first comparison is physical versus people. Just out of common sense, where do you think a warehouse worker or a baggage handler would likely fall in this comparison? If you guessed physical over people, congratulations. You possess common sense. Now, where do you think, based on what you know about Matty's career aspirations, where she would be in terms of physical versus people? If you guessed people over physical, spot on. You are simply brilliant. The second comparison is verbal versus task. Where do you think a warehouse worker or baggage handler would naturally prioritize their preference toward this job? If you guessed task over verbal, well done. This makes perfect sense, does it not? And if you guessed verbal over task with respect to Matty's preferences, or what we call operational mode, correct. Matty thanks you for your empathy. Our third and final comparison is introversion versus extroversion. This comparison is tricky, and why we won't delay in displaying the results. If anything, we are more concerned about the perception of introversion and extroversion by hiring managers. Introversion and extroversion may not be an important comparison in view of one's career aspirations or one's ability to get the job done. And why is this so? Most people are ambiverts, not pure introvert and extrovert. We are multidimensional with an array of complex operational modes to adapt to our environment. Here is where people mess it up. They often confuse non-verbal people as being introverted, and highly verbal people as extroverted.
Daniel and Lucy are at Moxie Motors to buy a vehicle. Our salesperson, Luke, begins the sale by asking an important question to his prospect.
My boss wants me accountable to your needs. Can you give me some insight as to what I should do to understand your buying priorities?
Aw, sure, dude. That sounds great.
Very good then. I will give you this tablet. Please place the following 4 actions in order of preference.
The prospect begins to identify what the salesperson should focus on in order of priority, moving the top preferences to the number 1 spot and the least preferential to the bottom spot. Now the salesperson has a profile on how he should approach the sale, and so his training in buying preferences gets put into action. The salesperson also gets Daniel's partner Lucy to do the survey as well. A couple can have different buying preferences. Individual snaps of the couple's presence at Moxie Motors, and it's time to go to work. Meanwhile, while that is happening, the sales manager Joe is reviewing the buying preferences of our prospect couple in question. On Moxie's Buying Preferences Manager, the sales manager can review information sent from the tablet survey. Important information such as the prospect's name, what they look like, who is the primary buyer, what is a rundown on their buying preferences, what vehicles are they looking for on the lot. The buying preference reveals the stronger influencer in the sale. Lucy shows she wants to deal soon, or leave. Whereas Daniel may drag out the buying experience, as he is a pamphlet seeker. Joe can now send Luke important information on what to do next, virtually touching death. Luke gets an alert from Joe on his tablet. Joe is now coaching Luke on buying preferences and next steps. Luke can now continue with the sale with some important insights about Daniel and Lucy. Luke has to strike a balance. His experience and the extra advantage of buying preferences at hand will certainly get him closer to finishing the sale today. Good luck, Luke. Buying preferences are designed to help salespeople and sales managers understand their prospects' buying motivation. So, why is buying preferences so important, you ask? Number 1, customers prefer to be sold. If a customer engages with you, it's because they choose to, no matter what resistance they put up. Number 2, customers prefer to consume information. Some need to get their data on before they decide. Number 3, customers are motivated to make decisions. We just need to know the pathway to that ultimate decision. Number 4, couples are conflicted in their buying preferences. This is not new. Finding this out right away just got easier. Number 5, statistical probability of closing. Buying preferences will reveal the statistical probability whether the sale is going to happen today or tomorrow. And finally, number 6, people are complex, stressed, and revealing. There's more to people than just buying preferences. However, buying is stressful. When people are stressed, they invariably invoke their primary instincts or buying preferences.